I actually thought that it was like right.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Please remember, turn off your cell phones. We don't want to be hearing any Lady Gaga ringtones. And remember to remain respectful to the speaker. Now let's give a big round to Eric Squeaker.
Thanks for coming, everyone. I'm Eric Squeaker, and everywhere I go, they're like, Eric, you're my king, you're my king. Well, I'm not a king, I'm a god. Remember me. I'm the God you worship every night. I am the prophet. And now let's talk about childhood. A little background on me, my child. I was born in Woodbine, Kentucky. In a family of 9, I was the 5th child. And I was born in a circus, and I would do the trapeze. I was really good at it, but one night I fell to the lion cage, where it bit my arm. And I spent the night in the ER. And I decided I want to go to college, so I went to college in Kentucky. I took nuclear waste management and public speaking. I graduated from UW of Kentucky. And after 2 years working in nuclear waste management, dumping nuclear waste in oceans, and I pursued my dream to become a motivational speaker. So I moved to Hollywood, Texas. So one day I go into a McDonald's and I want breakfast. Well, it's not breakfast time anymore. So I gave them a speech that changed their lives. Barack Obama, he was in there. He was auditioning for Family Matters, Steve Urkel. I changed his life. He's president now because of me. Mark Zuckerberg, he would work as an employee. Now owns something big, I don't know. But I still can get my breakfast. But a man there, he worked for Carnegie Hall. And he gives me a gig. He's a geek too, but I give a speech at Carnegie Hall. It's called Star Wars versus Star Trek. And I basically started another World War III in Carnegie Hall. It burned down for a second time, and I got arrested and spent a day in county jail. And that day changed me. Next day, I went and bought a Vespa. And that Vespa took me everywhere. That Vespa brought me here in Oregon, Wisconsin. I have a friend here, his name's Eugene, and he claims I've changed his life. He has been to every single speech I've ever done. Give a warm welcome to Eugene. How are you, Eugene? So, you took my relationship advice. How's it going?
My relationships are going well. Roseanne recently left me. And it's changed me for the better. Now I am dating a woman named Tyra Banks. And it's not the one you see on TV, but she does work at Kmart. And she's just as hot. Can I get a what?
How's your business?
Business is going well. I was recently laid off from Radio Shack. I was a manager there for 14 years. And I don't care because of your speech. I now own a small business called Eugene Small Business. And we specialize in wireless keyboards.
How many banks have you robbed lately?
When I first heard your speech in Rio de Janeiro, do you remember Rio?
Oh, I remember Rio.
I spent most of the weekend locked in my hotel room. Someone barricaded me in. It was a good prank. But when I first heard your speech, and you said you should rob a bank to help your soul, I decided to do it. Before I heard the speech, I robbed 0 banks. And now I have robbed over 50.
Thanks for coming on, Eugene. Nice seeing you. So, leaving the past behind is very hard for people. I want to teach you how to leave the past behind and defining you. I'll change your life today. After a speech, let's talk about traumatic childhood events. I've had many. Besides being mauled by a lion, one of them was a man came up to me while I was playing with basketball, and he kicks the ball right on my hand and falls into a well. I never saw that ball ever again. I looked the man into his one eye, and this is what he tells me. To suck it up and stop being a loser. That's what all you should do. All you losers. Now, tell me about traumatic child event. Yes.
I almost got kidnapped.
Good. Suck it up and stop being a loser. That could have changed your life. You should have been kidnapped. I'll teach you how to leave the past behind by doing 3 things, 3 hobbies I love to do. My first hobby is church activities. I like going to random churches and doing whatever they do. My second favorite hobby is collecting. I like to collect expired licenses. I like to just steal them off cars and other vehicles. And my third and my best hobby is I like to dress up as a cop or a nurse. I basically go to a CVS or anywhere, and I would do a drug bust as a cop. I would zip tie everyone, and I would steal powdered sugar and say it's cocaine and leave. I would tell them backup's coming even though it doesn't. They just stay there for hours. Leaving the past behind. The past, we have relationships. Are you in a relationship?
It's complicated.
You in the back, you're in a relationship?
Does Labrador count?
Okay. Leave your mother's basement. Leave the house. You're a loser. Get a real girl and... See, I am married. I'm married to my wife, Skylar. 30 unhappy years. I literally love her to death. I wish, but... Leaving the past behind. I had many relationships. I've forgotten them. Tell me about your friend. One of you, your friend. Who's your friend?
This is my friend.
Yeah, who's your best friend?
Not here right now. Seth Mayo.
Well, I can see you and Seth aren't getting along. See, I had a friend back then, John Goodman, when he was starting out. John was leaving for a trip to Hollywood for some kind of audition. Well, I popped the engines on the airplane. I blew them up so he can stay a couple hours with me. And me and John we're best friends since. Maybe you should do that. Next time he leaves for vacation, pop his tires. Now, leaving the past behind is very hard for most people, probably all of you. Remember to suck it up. But conquering the future is easy. In the future, we all have goals. Some are small, some are big goals. I have a big goal to become a motivational speaker, and you can have that goal too, but you'll never be as good as I am. Tell me, your goal.
To sail to Africa.
That's the worst goal I've ever heard. Look, have you accomplished anything? What goals have you? None. Well, you're a loser, I'm telling you. Who has a business here? Raise your hand. Who's running a business? No one. I know you're running a business. What's your business?
I don't own one.
Are you working somewhere?
No.
You!
Yes.
Where are you working at?
My uncle's liquor store.
Why is it failing? Here's why it's failing.
It's not failing.
All of your scab heads. Scab heads are the lowest tier of class in the United States and Iceland. As for me, I am in the middle class. I'm perfect. I'm good. And there's the highest class, the blondies. Now, the blondies are the cool high school dudes you meet. It's hard to become a blondie. Everyone loves blondies. But after today, I'll teach you, stop being a scabhead. Maybe you can just be in the middle class like me. Now, the reason your uncle's business is failing maybe is because he doesn't have enough alcoholic beverages. Maybe sell some for free. My number one tip is spend more money than you can afford. See, I used to have a business. I have 2 kids. Billy, he's 12, and John, he's 3. Me and the kids, we would make illegal knockoff Transformers. They weren't ordinary Transformers. We labeled them as Transformers. They're transvestite Transformers that taught the kids about sexuality and life. And it sold a lot. I have many people coming up to me saying they want to run a business, all types of business. I always tell them they're going to fail, even though they don't. Let's talk about the guy who owns Walmart. Comes up to me, tells me he wants to start a convenience store. I tell him it's going to fail. Well, it did not. Why haven't you started a family?
Well, I'm 16.
No excuse.
That's no excuse. I was really young when I started a family. I had my first child at 26 years old. I was a young man then. And I have 2 great kids and a lovely wife. But conquering the future is easy. That's all you have to do. Run a business. But with business comes fear. And with fear comes death. Tell me, young man, what are you scared of?
Yeah.
Well, suck it up, stop being a loser. Look, there should be only 3 things you're scared of in life. Your business failing, death, and your wife. I'm deeply scared of my wife. And my business did fail, but I'm still going. Now let's talk about death. I like to grab death by the earlobes. I like to swing across death. I sometimes like to ride my Vespa on 1 wheel, sometimes no wheels. How do you want to die?
Falling off my bike.
Excuse me?
I want to die by falling off my bike.
Well, no. Let me tell you how I want to die. Well, I want to be riding my Vespa, and I want to drive it off the Grand Canyon, fall into a snake pit. And I want to be mauled by these snakes. And I want an eagle to swoop me off the ground and put them into their nest. Have little baby eagles feed on me. But before you die, we need to talk about your soul. Now I can see all you have dirty souls. I'll help you detox your soul. How do you like detoxing your soul?
I like to meditate.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I have 3 ways to deal with stress and detox your soul. Number 1 is, I like to break things. I like to go into IKEA and break their windows, rip their beds up. I like to break things from Walmart. Second way is, I like drinking stuff, and specifically, goat urine. And goat urine contains THC, which it helps me deal with stress. My 3rd favorite way is I like to get exorcisms once a month. The reason I get exorcism is, well, we all have that demon in our life, and that demon's my wife. And sometimes I go cross-country motivational speeches. I Skype a priest. We do exorcisms while my Vespa, middle of crowds. That's how it works. But the best way to detox your soul, and this is my favorite, I've done this numerous times, is robbing a bank. I'm gonna give you 3 easy steps to rob a bank. What do you think step 1 is?
Not be noticed.
Exactly! You are the first person who has ever said that. Number 1 is identity. Hide your identity. Never bring your kids along on a heist job or anything. I've done that mistake many times. Hide your face, everything. My second step is, I always forget this too. Get the money. I usually steal something else, like their potted plants or pictures of their families. And this has gotten me caught because I was in Germany once with a friend. We're robbing a bank, and I got caught, and I was supposed to spend 30 years in prison. But we escaped the first night. And that's the worst mistake I've ever made. I wish I spent those 30 years to be away from my wife. Now, I hope all of you rob banks after this. Defining you is conquering the future, leaving the past behind, and death. And always remember to suck it up and stop being a loser. I'm Eric Squeaker, and this is Defining You. And I want to thank some people for making this happen. I want to thank the Firefly for having me here. Wes Capella for making this happen. The Blue Sundays for letting me steal their equipment. And Luke Davis for doing something. I want to thank all the lost souls in front of me. We'll have a Q&A session now.
All right. If you wrote a question, form a line right behind this. And if this goes by quickly, which it looks like it might, we will take general questions from the audience. All right, take it away, Joe.
What's your name?
Joe,
Where are you from?
Oregon.
Okay. What's your question?
How would you describe the flavor of a banana?
I describe it as a pencil taste.
How would you describe the flavor of a pencil?
Very flower, like a dandelion or a rose.
Those taste the same?
Yes.
Cool.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your question?
What inspires you?
Inspires me? Life. That painting of a dog. Everything around me inspires you. You inspire me. Joe over there inspires me. I inspire myself.
Alright, this fits well with the last two questions, obviously. United States-Russian relations are now at a tense low they haven't been at for a long time. In your opinion, what do Presidents Obama and Putin need to do to take things in a more positive direction?
Well, first, I want Obama to thank me for making him president. And, well, I want Ukraine to, I don't know, maybe do something about it. And Barack Obama to do something about it, too. President Putin, I don't know who he is, so...
What would you suggest the Ukraine does?
Hire me.
Can you tell the story of how you met your lovely wife?
No, it's demonic and just let me tell you, I met at my other gig in Rio, as Eugene said. That's all I'm gonna say. Welcome.
This question comes from someone who wishes to remain anonymous, Matt Hill. And he asks the question, how do you sleep at night?
Great. Well, my wife's next to me, so I don't sleep so good. She, I don't know, she takes up all of the space. Next question.
Is she large?
No, she's tinier than a pencil.
My question is, what movie inspires you?
Movie inspires me is Up. With Up inspires me to be an old man to fly my house. Like while on that adventure, I want to meet a little Boy Scout kid that changes my life. And you know the reason why I like Up? My wife is not there.
All right, are there any general questions from the audience who did not donate $5 or more to charity? No more questions? Oh.
What is your middle name?
Stewart.
Or
You have a question?
Can you help me get a girlfriend?
Yes, definitely. How? Don't be yourself. See, before I met my wife, I told her I was a agent, like James Bond. I was working for MI6. I lied everything about her. Until she came to one of my motivational speeches. I proposed to her, and my life fell apart that day.
You got any question?
Where do you get your goat urine?
I milk my own goat.
What's your favorite part of the day?
Probably 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is the time. Specifically 6 a.m. because that's the time my wife gets up in the morning for her regular job and leaves. Then I have another 12 hours to myself and the kids.
What do you do with your kids for fun?
Well, they like playing croquet. Well, I play croquet on my rules. I usually have them battle each other with the mallets. I invite John Goodman and a few other of my friends, and they have their kids come over and they fight with croquet mallets. And it goes well. We bet on who wins. It's basically the Brad Pitt movie, but better. Fight Club. Now World War Z.
What's your favorite low-fat yogurt flavor?
The one that makes me go to the bathroom. I can't think of the name right now. Activia. I love Activia. Strawberry flavored.
Any questions from back here?
Be brave.
He does bite, but
Max,
no more.
ask the question.
Do it.
Mitch, you have one question? This will be our last question.
So I rode my bike here, and when you pulled your tour bus in, you sort of ran it over multiple times. I don't know why you need to
I don't care.
back it up. Okay.
Only losers ride bikes, so anyone who rides a bike here, burn it after today.
All right, let's give a round of applause for Eric. That's it. Go home. 5 minutes. I just said water. I haven't been here.